A concept that is often underrated, often overlooked, yet incredibly powerful: consistency. Consistency is the invisible force behind greatness, the silent builder of success, and the key that unlocks the door to a life of fulfillment and achievement. It's not flashy or glamorous, but it's what separates those who dream from those who achieve. As Aristotle famously said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit, the power of small actions. When we think about success, we often imagine monumental achievements, winning championships, building empires, or writing best-selling books. But what we fail to see is the daily effort, the consistent actions, and the unwavering commitment that make those achievements possible. Let me give you a real-life example. James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, writes about the 1% rule. Imagine improving yourself by just 1% every day. It seems insignificant, right? But over the course of a year, that tiny daily improvement compounds, leading to a 37-fold increase in your abilities. Now think about the opposite. If you let yourself decline by 1% every day, you'll lose nearly all your potential over the same time frame. This is the value of consistency. Small actions repeated over time lead to extraordinary results. A real-life example: Kobe Bryant. Let's look at one of the greatest basketball players of all time, Kobe Bryant. Kobe wasn't just talented, he was relentless in his consistency. While others were sleeping, he was in the gym, perfecting his craft. He famously said, "Great things come from hard work and perseverance." No excuses. His routine was legendary. He'd wake up at 4 a.m. to train, practice his shots for hours, and analyze his performances meticulously. It wasn't the occasional big game or viral moment that made him great. It was the consistency of his work ethic, day in and day out. An imaginary example: the tale of the bamboo tree. Now let me tell you a story, one that's simple but profound. Imagine planting a bamboo seed. For the first few years, nothing seems to happen. You water it, nurture it, give it sunlight, but there's no visible growth. It's frustrating, and you might feel like giving up. But here's the thing about bamboo. During those years, it's growing underground. Its roots are spreading, building a foundation strong enough to support rapid growth. Then almost suddenly, the bamboo shoots up, growing as much as 90 feet in just 6 weeks. That's what consistency looks like. The results aren't always immediate, but the work you put in is never wasted. When the breakthrough finally comes, it's spectacular. The cost of inconsistency. Now, let's flip the script for a moment. What happens when we're inconsistent? Imagine a student who studies for 1 week and then takes 3 weeks off, or an entrepreneur who works on their business sporadically. Progress becomes slow, frustrating, and unreliable. Inconsistency breeds self-doubt and reinforces the belief that success is out of reach. But here's the truth: success isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. And the best way to run a marathon is to keep putting one foot in front of the other. How to build consistency? Start small. Don't overwhelm yourself by trying to tackle everything at once. Focus on one habit, one goal, one step. As James Clear writes, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Create a routine. Success thrives on structure. Set aside specific times each day to work on your goals, whether it's exercising, learning, or building a business. Track your progress, celebrate small wins. Whether it's a streak on a habit tracker or crossing off tasks on your to-do list, every bit of progress counts. Stay patient. Remember the bamboo tree. Just because you don't see immediate results doesn't mean your efforts aren't working. Trust the process. A fictional inspiration, the consistent artist. Let's imagine a painter named Sarah. Sarah isn't the most talented artist in her community, but she's the most consistent. Every morning, she spends an hour painting, whether she feels inspired or not. Over time, her skills improve dramatically. While others wait for inspiration to strike, Sarah builds a portfolio of incredible work. Eventually, her consistency pays off. She lands a gallery show and gains recognition, not because she's the best, but because she showed up every single day. Closing thoughts. Consistency isn't glamorous. It's not about massive leaps or viral moments. It's about showing up day after day, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it. It's about trusting that every small effort adds up, even when the results aren't visible yet. Let me leave you with this quote from Darren Hardy's The Compound Effect. Small, smart choices, consistently applied over time, will create a radical difference. So, what's your bamboo tree? What dream, goal, or skill are you willing to nurture with consistent effort? Remember, the world doesn't need perfection, it needs persistence. Keep showing up, keep pushing forward, and one day, you'll look back and realize that the life you've built was made not by grand gestures, but by the power of consistency.